you will reap the incredible emotional reward of knowing you did all you could do to heal this relationship. Yes, like the end of my marriage. I took every step I could to keep that marriage, to heal that marriage, to save that marriage. And after a few sessions of after a few sessions of marriage therapy, granted, it was Christian marriage therapy, and if your partner is not a Christian, that could become challenging. Getting like a survey quiz of all the ways you're a sinner and what you need to improve on might not take too well to someone who doesn't like Jesus Christ. So, but Jesus fucking Christ. Oh man, he used that term, and it was like the worst word you could say to me. Like, he would get impatient with me and go, Jesus fucking Christ. And I grew up with like, do not say the Lord's name in vain. That is worse than saying shit, goddamn, fuck, cock. You could say all that and they'd be like, oh, it's cool, you dropped something on your foot. But you say, oh my God, you say Jesus Christ, you say goddamn, they'll be like, oh, aren't you afraid of burning in hell for speaking the Lord's name in vain? No? Pretty sure hell is literally on earth. But anyways, my worst fear is in looking back on my life and having regrets, especially about the people that I shared my life with. What a gift you can give yourself by making your relationship better before it's too late. Try this strategy and find out where you stand as you reflect on what you've written. Change what you can with the people you care for most, and if you want to, go ahead and send it. You'd be surprised the letters I can write to people who would think I'd have a lot of bitter things to say, but in fact, I don't. Something my mom taught me through our ever so changing Christian beliefs that have they've really broken the box of what you would identify as a Christian, and they expand much to many other places. But what I will say is that when I was struggling with my stepmom, and I didn't want to visit my dad's house because of my stepmom, my mom would say, pray for her. And you know, I hated when she said that, because like I don't have anything positive for her. I don't have anything positive I want to happen. And she said, pray that she will love you better. Pray that she will understand you better. Pray for indifference. Because finally I said, Mom, I don't think she's going to change. I'm praying for someone to change how they feel about something. I don't think she can change how she feels about me. Granted, a lot of the ways that my mom was, my stepmom didn't like my